What's up, guys? Welcome back to Reject Films, back with another review for you guys from Wild Eye Releasing. It's been a few days now since I've watched this, but I still remember pretty much everything that it covered. I know I'm kind of slacking on reviews lately, so definitely want to get this done and get it out there. And kind of half asleep right now, so just kind of bear with me. It's been a really busy week with work and everything, and haven't had time to sit down and do these. So this is one for Scary Stories, which is a documentary covering the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark book series from Alvin Schwartz, which surprisingly I had never read before. I did know some of the stories that they talked about in the documentary, and I actually went and picked up the book series. This is a all three of the editions. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull all. Well, yeah, I guess I can. So you have the three books here. There's a bunch of different editions of these. You can buy them separately, just one of these or whatever, or you can buy like the hardback with all three books in one. But I kind of like this set the best. It was a couple dollars more than the hardback with all of them together, but I don't know. The collector in me and everything just tells me to get this, and comes in the nice box and everything. And I'm not a big hardback fan. Not that I really read a whole lot, but I like paperbacks better. They're easier to, sit and read. Everybody has their own preference, I guess. But anyway, I did know some of the stories in here already that they talked about in this documentary. And, the one about the hook and the babysitter and a couple others I already knew. Trying to think of one of the other ones that really stood out. I can't even think of it at this time. But yeah, I love documentaries, especially if it's something to do with horror related or movie related or whatever. And it does talk about some other books that came out around that time and everything. You do have interviews in here with R.L. Stine, with Schwartz's kid and grandkid and everything like that. Of course, he has since passed on. And there's a few times where his kid gets kind of emotional and everything like that, kind of teary-eyed, and you can tell he had somewhat of a difficult relationship with his father, and as well as that he meant a lot to him at the same time. But there's also interviews in here with talking with one of the librarians at a school at the time that these books came out, and she was, asked to take the books off the shelf, and she didn't want to do so, and everything. And, she, I believe, lost her job over it and everything because she just wouldn't do it, because these books are based off of, folklores from different countries and everything like that, and they really meant a lot to her. But, yeah, it was definitely an interesting watch, and there is some bonus scenes on here too. It was about 20 minutes worth of bonus scenes, which were pretty interesting as well. It does include some trailers for a couple of other Wild Eye releases, one being for VelociPastor again, which I'll be reviewing here soon. Yeah, it kept my attention pretty much the whole time. I mean, some documentaries are real slow and get kind of boring and everything, but this one was pretty entertaining all the way through. So if you guys are fans of the Scary Stories books, or if you're like me and you didn't really know too much about them, sorry, my throat's getting really dry, then it'll definitely make you more interested in finding more out about them. I mean, I went like the next day and got these books. I still haven't sat down and read all of them. Some of them are pretty cheesy. Keep in mind they are kids' stories, but kind of on the darker side. I mean, some of them are a little gruesome or dark for children, which, you know, started the whole controversy. There's like some news footage on here and everything about the controversy and everything when these books came out. I believe they came out in like the mid to late 80s or something like that. I know it said in one of these when it came out, I think it was like 84 or something like that. So like in the mid to late 80s, early 90s. 1981 is the text copyright on the first book. So through the 80s, early 90s and stuff, it was a big uproar over these books. And it's just, you know, watching that now and seeing what things were a big deal back then compared to what you see on the news and Facebook and everything nowadays is just, you know, like something like this would be like, you know, who cares now, you know, with everything else going on in this world. But yeah, like I say, very entertaining all the way through. Definitely recommend checking this one out for sure. It has the same artwork on the inside as the cover. And you do have like people in here that are like artists and stuff, and they'll recreate some of the images from the books with sculptures and stuff like that. I'll see if I can maybe find some. Here's one for the red spot, which they talk about in the documentary as well. There's people do photography and everything. Here's one for Harold, which they talk about in there. They mainly cover the first book, but there's some. This is 3 right here. There's people that are really, I mean, some of you already know this, but this is all new to me. People have tattoos and all kinds of stuff of these images, and I will say the artwork is pretty gruesome and everything at times, especially, I mean, like I say, keep in mind these are children's books, so it's like here's one for the church. Somebody had this tattooed on them, and it was really cool tattoo design. Yeah. I mean, of course, this comes out in the same time as, you know, the movie that was just released, the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the movie, which is, I believe, still at theaters. I'm not really sure how many theaters are still showing it, but I've heard mixed things on it. I hear like the books are better, which is usually the case when a movie based on books comes out. You know, the people always say the book's better. Yeah. So anyway, I believe they still carry this at like Walmart and stuff like that. It's about $10. Definitely worth picking up. I highly recommend this one to, like I say, any horror fan, any fan of these books, any fan of documentaries. This is just a really well done documentary. It runs 85 minutes. Like I say, you got like another 20 minutes of bonus scenes. You got Barbara Schwartz in here too. I don't know if that's sorry, I can't remember who that was. Well, I'm gonna cut this kind of short because my throat is really itching right now. And yeah, but I want to thank you guys for stopping by, checking out the video. And I got 3 more, I think, from Wild Eye to review from this last batch of movies they sent me. I'll probably be doing Velocipastor next. I can't ever say the word right. And hopefully I get to that soon, because I want to get these done and get some more from them. I'm kind of behind on movies for them, so yeah. Let me know if you guys have seen this. Let me know if you guys have read the books, what your favorite stories are, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye.